Well, hello and a very warm welcome out here in my studio in the summer house, and it's walk time again. Now I've decided to do a 4-day walk along the Dales Highway. Now this is a Dales Highway book by Tony and Chris Grogan. Now the first one has all the little maps and the route descriptions, and they're very precise, and a few extra details as well and some photographs. Lovely little book. But if you want to know more about the area, why not get the Dales Highway Companion, which is a book which accompanies it. It's got the full details of the route, and it's got lots of lovely photographs and a lot of history about the area as well, and what you might see along the way. And there's the swastika stone, has got details about that. Romans, what wildlife and plants you might see along the route. Brilliant. Thank you Tony and Chris Grogan for making this walk possible. My adventure started by arriving at Saltaire train station, only to find that my lodgings for the night are about a mile away in Shipley. Saltaire in West Yorkshire is known as an industrial village, and its buildings are well preserved. Titus Salt was the chief wool merchant in his family's business in Bradford and set up on his own in 1834. But Bradford at that time was a dirty, grim place where 10-year-old children worked a long, hard 13-hour day. Hundreds of mill chimneys covered the town in thick smog, and the life expectancy was just 20 years. Oh my goodness. By 1850, Titus Salt, now the borough mayor, decided to move his business to a new, cleaner area just outside of Shipley. That's where I stayed. Titus built his factories, his work cottages and boarding houses for his loyal workers, and over 10 years built a church, chapel, bath and wash houses. His workers' conditions improved, but at a price, for their daily lives were controlled by Titus. Numerous regulations controlled their daily life. Alcohol was forbidden, and they weren't allowed to put up washing anywhere in the streets. Now, Titus Salt died in 1876, and his son took over the business, but he also died suddenly at age 44 in around 1892. Now, so Titus Salt and Sons went into liquidation. But the business continued until 1986 under different owners, and at that time it was Illingworth Morris. Unfortunately, Saltaire village was in decline at that time, but along came a man in shining armour, Jonathan Silver. He was a self-made millionaire, and he made Saltaire what it is today, so thank you Jonathan. Now if you go into Roberts Park, you can see the statue of Sir Titus Salt, standing proud.
Hello and welcome to the Yorkshire Dales. Today I'm here at Saltaire, right on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, at the start of my 90-mile walk all the way to Appleby-in-Westmorland. Well, I've come a couple of miles now out of Saltaire. Weather's changed, it's trying to rain. I don't know whether to put my coat on or not, it's getting a bit hot really. Forecast for the week is going to be lovely and hot and sunny. This is a good opportunity for me to tell you now that I'm following this beautiful little book. It's The Dales Highway by Tony and Chris Grogan, and together with this is a companion book which gives all the details of history and all that about the area, and these are essential, you do need these. Although there are waymarks, you can get lost. I've got lost a couple of times already, but that's my own fault for not reading the map. Just here near Yorkshire Reservoir, beautiful panoramic view of the whole of the area.
Now, I'm now heading over towards Rombold's Moor, and this woolly plant is known as cotton grass. This is an exposed upland moor with the highest point reaching 380 metres above sea level. Now I'm walking in the footsteps of our prehistoric ancestors, and all around you can find examples of their culture. But hardly any people around, but there are the calls of the oyster catcher being tormented by a buzzard. the site, known as the 12 Apostles, it's a stone circle and it's thought to have been built by the Bronze Age people, possibly to celebrate the solstice.
As you see, there's a lot of stone slabs down here going across the moor. Thank you to all those people that put these slabs down. I'd imagine that must have been a nightmare. I wouldn't want to try it. Well, ahead lies Ilkley. We just had a lovely steep climb coming downhill on the Ilkley Crags, as they call them. It's a very steep, rocky hillside basically, so take your time so you don't fall down.
Now this is the Victorian spa cottage known as White Wells, and if the flag is flying you might be lucky to get refreshments or maybe a bath. Well, we finally reached my first destination of the walk, and this is the lovely attractive town of Ilkley. Well worth a look around and explore it. It's also the start of the Dales Way National Trail. Now, after my overnight stay in Ilkley, I was keen to get walking again, and was soon out on the main track, passing through a grate, but I was riding slowly towards Addingham High Moor. What's this fenced off area? Well, just behind here is I think the Iron Age swastika stone, and the Victorians done a replica of the markings on the stone, but I don't think anybody understands what they're for.
Well, we left Ilkley and we just passed the swastika stone, and there are magnificent views here now. The drizzle is gone, the sun's coming out, and it's fantastic. If you look at the landscape here, you can see little hamlets and farmsteads and all them sort of things, little villages. Absolutely beautiful. Just to our right is Lower Wharfdale. Magnificent views on a lovely sunny day now. All the fields are like little patchwork quilts with stone walls typical of this part of the Yorkshire Dales.
Now back on our track. Now look out for this waymarked cairn on Addingham High Moor. It's got a sharp right hand turn here, dropping down towards Addingham.
Well, we've left the moor tops and we now come down into Addingham across some open fields and a lot of young cattle.
Now, the village of Addingham is a small, quiet farming hamlet. It's got B&Bs and shops. Well worth a little look. Oh, it's a pub as well if you want a drink. Now, on my way leaving Addingham, I'm faced with a very long tarmac lane. It's a Roman road, we believe. It rises over Skipton Moor for about a mile. Skipton is the largest town that you'll be passing through on this walk. It's got a beautiful canal at its heart and lots to do and see, including a castle. So I spent the afternoon exploring the town because I was rather early for my lodgings. And this is where I bought a honeycombed ice cream. It was so crunchy it was like eating teeth. Now, the hotel that I stayed in didn't do breakfast, but instead this was served in a building opposite. But I was the only one in there, and this is where I heard lots of coughing and sneezing coming from the kitchen. Oh dear. Well, a man came out with my breakfast, hanky still in his hand, and he was still coughing and sneezing. But I took one bite of the sausage and I was nearly sick because it was still raw inside. Well, I left my breakfast in a bin, covered up, and made a hasty retreat down to the nearest bakery and bought some cakes and sandwiches. And then I was on my way back towards Malham, the next destination for the next day. Now, leaving Skipton, we have a steep uphill climb towards Sharp Tor. It's very hard on my leg muscles, but they're stiffened up overnight. But you get to that Sharp Tor, have a look around. There are magnificent views all around.
Well, from the dizzy heights of Sharp Tor, very windy up the top, I made my way down through a bracken covered area which is a little bit muddy in places. Eventually I found my way across some open fields, down a nice little farm track, now a lovely green leafy lane. Brilliant.
Now I'm passing through an area called Flasby Beck, or Flasby Beck, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But it was here that I passed a buzzard, and I'm pretty sure it had a nest nearby, because it kept coming to dive bomb me and just caught the top of my hair as it flew past.
and beside, I think it's called Flaysby Beck. I think I've pronounced it correctly. Up and down rolling countryside here. Lovely fields, a little bit wet in places, and quite a few gates and stiles as well. Some of the gates are narrow stone, well, some of the stiles, should I say, are narrow stones. So with me and my stomach, I just about squeeze through. So I think anybody coming this way can also get through as well.
So I managed to stand by a stone wall and tucked into my caramel slice as a reward on reaching this high point. But it was so windy you couldn't hear a word I was saying on the camera.
But I give myself a little treat when I reach my destination point.
I did see a woman sitting down behind a stone wall, and she's either looking at a map or doing some drawing. I reached the bottom of the lane and decided to do a half a mile optional detour. Now this took me down to Gordale Scar, and it was fantastic down here. The cliffs go up and above, and I felt like an ant in a lonely landscape, but there were lots of people about anyway, looking around, and rock climbers were there scaling up the cliffs, and I stayed around for a little while just watching them and the waterfall nearby. Now I walked down the lane and turned off to Janet's Foss. Now this is another smaller waterfall and a lovely pond. Well worth a look if you're heading towards Malham. Now the next morning, after a good night's stay, I decided to walk through the village of Malham, over a little footbridge, over a lovely stream, and there were lovely little ducklings all swimming around on the pond itself. Now the next part of my walk was up towards Malham Cove, and after a lovely steep climb up to the limestone plateau on the top. It's there I met some younger walkers who were on a long distance walk, possibly the Pennine Way.
Well, enjoy it.
What journey are you on, the Pennine Way?
No, just TV.
Oh.
So I then continued my walk towards Settle, which is going to be my final destination of the day. And the landscape here reminded me of a western, possibly seeing John Wayne coming along with Indians chasing after him. Fantastic. And then following several walks through different fields, I eventually get to Settle, only to find that my lodgings, which were going to be for that night, had closed down. So I decided to hop on the train and make my way back home. Well, I hope you enjoyed that walk, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more walks like this, and some of mine out as well, please like and subscribe, and you won't miss a thing. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.